Hi, welcome to Ask Bishop Zac. We have a pretty interesting one. So this is with regard to a lot of the media that sort of paints a very negative light, especially towards the elite, in saying that they are indifferent to the situation in Uganda and they're often in that position, doing nothing, saying nothing, really not caring or seeming like they don't care. So the question is, how does one engage and not blame them for Uganda's situation?
Thank you very much. It's yes, it is. I actually was reading one of those, which did indicate that one of the silver linings of the COVID-19 pandemic was that now it's come because the hospital bills, COVID-19, this wave is not choosing, and so on and so forth. And I mean, you've had the Dr. Chizabesige quoted, talking about how he said that the elite are the most hopeless, they are the problem for the country. I think the first thing to say is who are the elite, and is to admit that elite and elitism is a contextual. And I think I can safely say that every community or every society has its elite. And by elite, it means that these are people who live above the average. They know above average. Their conditions of life are above average. They are in their lives and where they are located, they are removed from the margins of society. So very often you think about the elite on one end of the spectrum, you're thinking about the margins on the other end of the spectrum, the excluded, people excluded from education, from healthcare, from insurance, from amenities, water and so on.
Basics.
So that always in every society you'll find that to be true, depending on the economy, the political economy of that particular society. And secondly, I think it's important to say this, that except for revolutions in which the masses below average, those that are the participate in revolution, in change, but even then, the leaders of the revolution, the leaders of the masses are the elite. So in every, whether you're thinking about Indira Gandhi, or you're thinking about Nelson Mandela, or you're thinking about Martin Luther King Jr., or you're thinking about the 27 guns and people of the NRM, or Obote and group, it's always people who know more, have had access and exposure more. So there is a sense in which the responsibility for leadership and transformation of society and community actually lies with those who know more, who have more, who have access to more. So there is a sense in which we ought to always realize that more is a responsibility. More is not a privilege. It's not because you are better than any other that you have that. So the first point I think is to recognize the responsibility that more places upon you. And secondly, is to and therefore don't take it for granted, and don't take it as a right, and don't, and realizing that that responsibility thrusts you then to be more intentional in connecting with those on the margins, especially the excluded. And one of the reasons why it's easy for those who know more, have access to more, often more disconnected, is because they take these as rights, privileges, we kind of a sense of entitlement, not realizing it's a responsibility. So, but intentionality. So what does that mean? You live in Kampala. You don't just live in your gates. Spend some time, visit the slum communities of Kampala. Sit there, check their water sources, go to their schools. In fact, if even better, eat the food with them. Connect with the markets where they go, and be able to check. So what's their healthcare? What are their schools like? You see, in this country, the elite, it is true, are disconnected from the universal primary education system. So when you talk about the faltering standards of our education and healthcare and on,
It's hard to relate.
yeah, but you see, if you do not engage intentionally, so my plea, how do you engage? Be intentional. Be intentional. Get into those places. Connect. I say to people, you have no right to speak about any people, whoever they are, if you have no relationship that touches your life. I can say this for myself. One of the most transforming experiences for us as a family is living in Mulago and connecting with the families in Mulago. Another massive transforming experience for me was spending one week sleeping in the slums of Kalere, you know, and going to their toilets. I mean, the most remarkable was going to the toilet. Go to the toilets. You know, for us, we can say, even believers, you can sing and praise the Lord and worship in the toilet. Hello. Not when the toilet, when you do your things, you know, okay.
You wouldn't even want to open
I
your
should
mouth.
not say anymore. Absolutely. But when you know that, you know, when I was there and they told me how every rainy season there is cholera and I was stepping in that water, then you carry with you that experience. You're not speaking in theory. So be intentional. And it is true. If we who have more know more, do not do more. The responsibility for more is to do more, is to engage with those who are, so that the ground is leveled, so that, you know, we all have access. And the key word here is access. Nobody is left out. And it is true. We can do more. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I won't even add anything to that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.